Welcome to Below Deck Spurts, a podcast that recaps current Below Deck seasons with two Midwest millennial siblings. I'm Morgan.
I'm Lane.
Today we're recapping Below Deck Med, Season 8, Episode 11, Safety Dance.
What does that even mean?
I know. When I wrote it, I was like, dear God, I don't even have the energy to try to figure it out.
Did they like mix up their titles?
I don't know. Safety Dance.
Like
There's nothing's
nothing
coming to
to
mind.
do with safety, and there's nothing to do with dancing.
There's nothing to do with safety. Yeah, you're right.
There's nothing.
No, I know. Part of me is like, I'm just going to stop writing the titles down.
I mean, I like it because it's like a good way to intro the episode, but there's nothing to do with safety or dancing. Like,
No, there isn't.
Like, there's dancing, but it wasn't anything like, I didn't write anything down about dancing.
No, and there was barely dancing.
Yeah.
Safety. The only thing safety-wise, but that doesn't even make sense because the guest that's going to be all a problem isn't even till next week.
That's next week. The only thing I can think of is because Luca fucked up the schedule and there was no one on deck.
That's a freach.
Yeah.
A freach.
That's a freach right there.
Yeah, it's a new word.
That's a far reach, otherwise known as a freach.
Yeah. See, we can, we'll just start shortening all sentences into one word. Sword.
Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Dramatic Kyle.
Yep.
That's the whole episode there.
All right. See you later. See you next week.
Have a good one.
The way our episodes work is we start with two quick questions for each other based upon that week's episode, and then we focus on 2 to 4 main points throughout. Today I have Kyle and Jack, which I literally struggle with putting Kyle in the main points every week.
Yeah.
But here we are. Basically, it's just him being paranoid. It's less about Jack and more about him just literally thinking everybody's out to get him.
Mm-hmm.
Lily not doing well physically and at her job.
Mentally, physically, work-wise.
Yeah. And Luca not being the perfect bosun anymore.
Yeah.
Showing the flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still Team Luca, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just for the show. I'm going to be honest, I thought this episode was a little boring.
Yeah, it was pretty boring, yeah.
Going into recording today, I'm like, meh.
I know, I kept finding myself, like, looking at my phone. I'm like, I gotta pay attention.
I know.
Like, and then I rewatched it today. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit and just watch the whole episode. I'm like, yeah, I didn't miss anything. There was really
I know.
nothing.
I was taking notes. I took notes for, like, the first half of the episode on Monday, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just go back and, like, do the notes. There were I barely wrote any notes, I feel like, for the second half of the episode.
Oh, I know.
I was like, there's nothing to write.
I looked at my notes before I watched it over again. I'm like, I must have been drunk. Like, there's nothing. And I didn't really add anything. The coolest part of the episode was
The diving.
the diving.
I know.
And Haley has over 15,000 dives.
I know. And I'm like, why are they not giving her... I mean, I guess there wasn't much more to show when it came to the diving, but it's like,
Yeah.
I want to see that. I want to see Haley and know that she's a freaking dive master more than I want to watch Kyle cry. Like, about nobody wanting to talk to him or everybody out to get him. Like, I don't know.
That was so cool.
I know.
15,000 dives.
I know. Brad was like, that's got to be wrong. But
I thought it was too.
Yeah.
I watched it over a couple times. I'm like, she must have said 1,500 and they just like dubbed the audio or something.
Yeah.
Like, no, it was 15,000.
yeah, but if you think about it, if she worked on like an actual dive boat and did it all day, every day as her job for however long, I mean, it's possible to get there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into it. And there was barely any food too, which pisses me off.
Yeah.
We literally got one meal, or literally one part of a meal.
Yeah, it was the pork belly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Come on, Bravo. I know I like to complain.
What?
Yeah. I do a podcast about a show I constantly complain about. But it's like, man, I don't know. Let's just stop giving Kyle the airtime.
Let's spice it up a little bit. You know, like Jack's not biting on the drama.
No, which is good, and I'm happy
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I don't know.
Just stop giving him the airtime. We all know what he's doing.
We all
what's
know.
gonna happen.
Right. It's like predictable at this point.
He's going to have one more blow up and Sandy's going to fire him.
Do you
or
think?
maybe not because he's a good stew, but he's super dramatic. Like,
Yeah. I feel like we say the same thing every week. That's why I'm getting like bored with myself. But
yeah, it's kind of like having a cold. It's like I still got to do shit, but like this is kind of dragging me down a bit.
okay. So let's start at the beginning. We pick up where Kyle's making that smart comment at the table to Jack, which literally doesn't even make any sense. He says something like,
We forgot our question of the day. Do you want to do
"Oh
that?
shoot, we did forget the question of the day." You go first because I'm gonna be honest, I don't have one. Ooh.
Okay. I have two if you want me to just handle both.
Sure.
Who's at fault for the tender not being in the water?
That was actually something I was gonna write as a question when it happened. And I think I even have a note about it. Let me see. My notes are kind of all over the place. I think so. At first, I was like, "That's on Toomey." At
Yeah.
first, I was like, "That's on her to be like, hey, Luca, I need a tender ready at this time." But then Toomey made the comment like, "On my other boats, that's how it's been." And then Lara said something like, "Hey, basically Lara was blaming them both in her
Yeah.
interview. It was like they need to talk." So I'm gonna go with Lara because she knows better than I do, and say it was like equally. They were both equally at fault.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking too, because I was very quick to blame Toomey because it's like, well, if you need it, ask for it.
Right.
But it's a whole team effort,
Right.
and it's scheduling, and we have this going on. Tell Luca so he has a boat in the water.
Yep.
I think it was just overlooked by both of them, and it was kind of like a 50-50 thing.
Right. And I get what Lara's saying, and I understand it. Like the way she said it was, what are you guys doing in that meeting? You guys have that preference sheet meeting to talk about the schedule. The dive wasn't nothing they did was a surprise, right? So like
Yeah.
why didn't you have a tender ready, or why didn't you have more, why didn't you give breaks sooner? Cuz they'll talk about that too. And I get that. Like again, nothing was like, "Oh, we just did this on the fly." Everything's planned.
Yeah.
So you really don't have any excuse, "Oh, this person didn't get their break." Well, why not? It's because you didn't plan for it. And then you have three of them sleeping, and that's right at the end of the episode where Sandy gets really mad, and I'd be really mad as a captain too. Are you kidding me?
I wouldn't be happy.
One deckhand awake, and he's off the boat right now. So there's no deckhands.
Yeah.
Like-
and she even says, like, what if I had to pull anchor? What
Yeah.
if I had to do this or that?
Yeah.
It's like, well, you got to go wake them up.
You can't even pull anchor with just one deckhand.
No.
You need two
Yeah.
for, most things. So
I would know. I've been on many boats.
same. I'm just going off Lara, really.
Yeah.
I felt bad that Sandy was kind of like yelling at her because it like wasn't her. She was just down for her break that she said that was planned.
Yeah. I mean, she's the most likely to get yelled at because she's on a break. She's not sleeping. She's not breaking up her 8 hours of sleep, and she's lead deckhand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it goes past Luke onto her. That sucks, but
Yeah.
sometimes it just works out that way.
Yeah, it's not like she was really yelling at her either. She's just like, hey, someone needs to be up here, so it's going to be you
Yeah.
because you're the lead deckhand. So
Do you want another question, or do you want to get into it?
no, we can do the other if it's good.
Do you think, like, just like you in general,
Okay.
very organized person, you know what you're doing, you keep a very clean and organized house. Do you think you could handle being the fourth stew?
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking too.
I know. And I thought about that too. I was like, okay, what if they threw me on a boat? That like in the fourth stew, Lily has been on a boat. It's just smaller. So her thing is, I've never done laundry, and laundry is a big part of her job. Okay, I get that. Have you done laundry in general?
Yeah.
It seems like she has. Okay, so she has a grasp on like how to do laundry. Then my next question to Toomey, because I went through this in my head. I was like, my next question to Toomey would be like, hey, I know this sucks. I need you to write out like everything you need me to do. And that means like do the laundry, steam these specific things for these people, which maybe not even that, just like captain's shirts or whatever. When they're done, you send them up. Like I'm wondering, which again, I know that sucks, but as a chief stew, that's your job, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have a hard time if someone was like, do this, and I can read and I can follow directions and I'm organized and I can do that. However, I know a lot. As I get older, I realize that not everybody's like me. Like, some people need their hand held, some people don't. Some people can't
take initiative.
Yeah, take initiative or use context clues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, oh, if I washed the captain's shirt and steamed them, what should be the next step?
Yeah.
Getting them back to the captain, right? So that's where I was at with it, where I was like, I don't know if Toomey could do a better job or if Lily just cannot use any context clues to be like, if the laundry's clean and steamed and ready to go, it should probably not be in the laundry room anymore.
Yeah.
You know? So that's where I'm at with that, I guess.
Yeah, and while you were talking, it kind of made me think, would it have been a smart move for Toomey to take herself off service, train Lily for this charter, let Kyle run service, which he can definitely do, Jess can definitely do.
Yeah, that's a good point. That
Yeah.
probably would have worked.
That would have been a smarter thing to do, unless the schedules would have just fucked everything up. But
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I've heard it both ways. I'm trying to think of, I feel like Kate from Below Deck original, she was like the original Chief Stew. I feel like she did something like that at one point where she kind of like was like, well, but I don't know if it was during charter. I think she might have, well, whatever. But then I think other Chief Stews have made the point, the Chief Stew has to be leading on service, like dinner service. So I don't know how that would work. I think we'd have to have a better idea of the schedules. But you're right, like normal, besides dinner service, Kyle and Jess could have handled everything else.
Or send Kyle on the same, like, laundry and cabins.
I know, I think that was because of what was going on. That wasn't a good idea.
Without all the drama, that would have probably been a better option.
Yes.
But
you don't want to give him any power right now.
Nah.
Not at all.
You don't want to knock him down either, because then he'll complain about that.
I know, it's a very slippery slope.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, we start at the dinner where Jack's basically Kyle's trying to pick a fight with Jack.
Mm-hmm.
We have banter. That doesn't sound like banter. I literally don't even know what he was trying to say.
I have no idea.
Jack says nothing. Lily says basically nothing.
Yeah, basically, like, don't bring me into whatever you're trying to bring me into.
Right. And then he takes that as, oh, Jack's talking to her about me, but he wasn't.
No.
It's just, you just can't win with Kyle because you can't be like, nothing's happening, because he'd be like, well, how did you find out anything was happening in the first place? Like, it's just, you just can't win with whatever you say.
Yeah, no.
So that really doesn't go anywhere. Jack makes the comment, if Natalia was the issue, why is the drama still happening? True.
Good point.
Like, we're not, again, we're not team Natalia, but,
No.
and it's definitely obviously gotten better since she's gone, but she wasn't 100% of the problem, I guess is what we're saying.
Yeah, I mean, the problem now is there's no one fighting Kyle back, which is good, like, in a dramatic way, which is good. But then you have Kyle, like, lashing out at people, and then Toomey being like, I think he might be a little dramatic.
Yeah.
It's like, no shit.
Well, and I struggle with Toomey and the way she's handling this. And I don't know, the reason I struggle is because I don't think she's handling it, like, perfectly. But I also can't say that I would handle it perfectly either, because in that situation, like you just said, okay, well, if you come at him too hard, he's going to, like, be even worse. But you have to say something because he's got to know it's not okay. So I think she's trying to, like, walk that line, and sometimes isn't telling Kyle how wrong he is.
Yeah. She's trying to stay on his good side. But he doesn't really have a good side. You're either denying what he's doing or you're
his enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's how I feel. And the one thing she had said, so she had talked to Jack when they got back to the boat after the night out. And I thought he handled it well. He's like, I want you to know about this. Nothing happened. Nothing was said. I specifically said, I don't want to tell you anything because I don't want to be involved.
Yeah. He's basically like, this is what happened from my end. You deal with it as his boss.
Yeah. And Toomey was like, okay. And then she went to Kyle and she's like, well, Jack said this. And I want to be like, stop. Every time she approaches, whether it's like Natalia or Jess, or like anytime she approaches an issue, she's like, well, this person said this. What do you have to say about that? No, stop. No. Because then you know what Kyle hears? Jack was talking about me.
Yeah.
And then we're right back to square one. You have to be like, this is the issue. This is what we're doing moving forward.
Yeah. And I think she doesn't want to bring things on herself. Like she could say, I saw you and Jack kind of got into it. I heard a little bit about it. What happened? Just something along those lines, like a regular manager would do in any other position. She's like, well, Jack was, talking shit back there.
Yeah.
What happened? And that doesn't solve anything.
No.
She's just covering her ass.
I know. And again, I don't want to say it was her saying Jack was talking shit. It was literally just the way it was worded. To me, was the wrong way to word it. Because the minute Kyle hears this person said this, whether it was totally innocent or whatever, immediately like, my enemy. They were talking about me.
Yeah. And then he immediately, I don't know if I just misheard it, but basically just straight up lies to me. Like, I went up to him and said a couple things. And
just to him. Yeah.
And I said something to Lily, and that was it. And then you get the clip of him basically yelling at both of them.
Across the table, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's
in front of everybody.
Right. And that's where, again, Toomey could have used that. Hey, I was sitting at the same table. Like, I don't have to take sides here. I don't have to say Jack said this or you said this or whatever. I can say with my own two eyes, I saw this. Can't happen.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is she's just like stepping on eggshells with Kyle. But anything Natalia ever did while she was on the boat, Toomey was like, you know what? Fuck you.
We know that.
Yeah,
that's right. Like, she definitely treated them both differently.
Yeah. My point is, you got to treat everyone equally when you're a manager. The people that you manage, you have to treat them equally.
Yeah. I still am so like 50-50 on Toomey. And I know people might be mad at that. You can't win.
No.
But
neither can she.
No. And that's how I feel. Has she done things wrong and continually doesn't do things probably the best way? Yes. But this is a difficult crew. Like, dealing with Natalia and Kyle is not for the faint of heart. Natasha did it last season. And Natasha had much more experience as a chief stew than Toomey, but she still didn't know how to handle it sometimes.
Yeah.
So I do feel for Toomey in that aspect of, man, it could have been way easier. We've watched other seasons where the stews just got along the whole time, and didn't cause drama. And I think Toomey it's bad luck. That's all it is. Like, it's not, you can't control the crew you come into.
Yeah.
So I do want to say that. Like, I do feel bad for her in those moments because she just has a lot to deal with. And yes, she's not dealing with it in the right way, but man, it would take a special person to be able to deal with everything the right way with the Natalia and Kyle stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no way I could handle it properly.
Right.
It's just, we're looking in.
Right, exactly. Like, we can sit here and say, yeah, you should have done this, this, and this, but in the moment, man,
yeah,
I don't know. I probably would have lost my temper at some points too. Probably with both of them. Probably with Natalia and Kyle at some point. Like, no, you don't, and that probably wouldn't have been the right thing. I probably would have gotten in trouble. And so that's all I want to say about Toomey is, like, I feel like we give her a hard time, but man.
We also only see the worst parts, and she has to go through it 24/7.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it wears on you, wears on you, and then you blow up or do something stupid, and it's like, well,
right.
I was doing well until that one time where the cameras were on me, but they're on me 24/7.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. So now that, they do the night out, goes pretty well. Captain Sandy is pissed about the crew mess being dirty. We'll get back to that. Basically, we're shown a little bit, which I agree. Like, when she walked into the crew mess, it was a mess.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't have been okay with that either.
Yeah, she said it's not a frat house here, and I was like, well,
I was like, Lane knows
yeah,
that.
pretty close. Floors aren't as sticky, but I digress.
I think, oh God, I think what she's saying is like, there's
Yeah.
nobody's telling you not to party and have fun on your time off, but like when you're leaving bottles and trash and the trashes are overflowing, like I wouldn't be okay with that either. Like,
Oh, yeah,
take
me
the
neither.
garbage out before you go out. This is a high-end yacht. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a frat house. The frat house you lived in cost $10.
Okay, the first one was a bit of a shack, but then we upgraded and we destroyed that one too. And then I graduated. I don't know what happened after that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
We would put like a marble on the floor and it would like go over here. And
oh
then
my God,
down there. Yeah.
because of ghosts.
That's what we told ourselves.
Yep.
But it was more of like the house could collapse at any time. It's like, don't step over there.
There's no way. Did you guys ever have any inspections or anything?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say there's no way that would pass. I don't even know what inspection. It would never pass any type of inspection.
Yeah, the fire department hated us. They're
You guys
like,
probably had so many space heaters plugged into power strips.
actually, yeah.
That's the biggest. That's
Yeah, they didn't like that.
very dangerous.
I remember one time
They
I
didn't
had,
like that.
well, I had like 2 outlets in my room. So you got to kind of double up. And then one time they came in for a surprise inspection and I didn't have my clothes in a hamper. I just had them on the ground. And they're like kicking over my clothes and they find the extension cord and they're like, "You can't do that."
Oh my God, you had clothes on your extension cord?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they were not happy. I
No.
was like, "Quit kicking my shit." They came at like 8 a.m. on a Sunday. I'm like, "You nerds.
Nerds. Sleep
Jeez.
in. Get a life.
Get a life, you nerds." They didn't like me calling that
No.
them that either.
No. Oh God, it's a miracle you made it out alive.
Yeah. I have many stories.
Anything else from the night out? Luca and Jess hook up. Lily and Max kind of do, but not really.
Which is good.
Which is good
because
because yeah, I was just gonna say that. That's good that because she was really bad. The next morning, Luca gets in trouble because of the crew mess. He just takes it and moves on. That's
Yeah.
good, of course. That's
like
what's
he always
expected.
does.
Great.
Takes it on the chin.
Oh, I have Jack telling Lily her nipple is out.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my favorite parts. He's like, just as a friend, your nipple's out. She's like,
The one part, and it's like a 2-second clip, but it cracked me up, was I think Jack's talking to Lily and they're walking to the vans. And Jack's just, I forget what they're talking about, but Max runs past Jack and Jack immediately like sprints after him like a little brother. I thought it was hilarious.
it is funny. What you posted on Instagram was funny, but I wanted you to post it on our feed. You posted on the story, the thing with Jack and the sunglasses.
Oh,
Because the only reason is that you can't really go viral on a story. Not that we would have went viral.
oh
that.
yeah. I thought you wanted me to put it on the story.
But yeah, just because people can share it from your feed. I don't think people can share it from a story, if that makes sense.
I think they can put it on their.
I don't think you can because I couldn't unless you tagged the person. Like you would have had to tag the person for them to be able to add it to their story.
I mean,
Just
I
a
can
note.
make the picture again. It took me like 9 seconds.
You should. It was a good picture.
I'll do it right now.
And Jack responded to it. He said it was
He
funny.
did. He thought it was hilarious.
It was very funny. So if you haven't seen it, Easter egg. It's gonna be on our Instagram at some point.
Lucy saw it too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, what now? Kyle to me, blah blah blah. Lily throwing up her entire insides.
Yeah.
Wow. At first I was like, maybe she that's a freaking rough hangover. But that's what it was. Like at first I thought she was actually sick or something was wrong or alcohol poisoning or something, but she was just down in those drinks.
It was probably a little bit of alcohol poisoning.
It had
To puke that much.
It's a little
bit of alcohol poisoning.
And I think I've said this before, like I think I can say this with complete honesty. I've never woken up the next day and started puking. It would always be like that night. Like if I had too much to drink, I'm going to puke that night before I go to bed.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
So when I was in the fraternity, right, we had this blah, blah, blah. We had this big party. I stayed up until whatever time and then slept for like 2 hours. And my body woke me up and was like, you need water now.
Mm-hmm.
So I go down to the stairs or downstairs in the fraternity, open up the fridge, 0 water, 0 anything,
Yep.
only beer and milk.
Oh,
That
no.
didn't smell the best.
Oh, no.
So I chugged the milk because I'm like, I gotta hydrate.
Why wouldn't you just drink out of the sink?
That was
You
probably worse
chose
than the milk.
questionable milk. Then I would have drank toilet water before questionable milk.
Yeah, it wasn't the best decision. So
Actually, I don't
anyways,
know if I would have drank toilet water.
Yeah,
over
not in that house.
No, not in that house.
No. So anyways, like 2 minutes after I do this, one of my brothers comes down. He's like, dude, I need Gatorade. I will drive you to the gas station right now. I'm like, thank God. We like pull out of the parking lot, maybe 20 feet. I get out and just, bleh.
Oh, a bunch of milk.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all. So yeah, that was one of the only times the next day I was sick.
Yeah.
But I'm usually like you. The night before, I know what's going on.
Right. I think the milk had something to do
I
with
don't know.
that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think the milk was fine.
It was like brown.
Chunky.
Yeah, a little chunky. It's
Yellow.
2%.
Oof.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I don't understand, which obviously like it happens, like you start puking, but my body won't let me go to sleep if it knows I have to puke.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and the other thing, me and you don't really get into like ripping 12 shots. a
no,
night,
you're
you
right.
know?
I shouldn't say I've never done that. I probably have done that.
Mm.
When's the last time? I was trying to think. Oh, Labor Day when we were you didn't go on the boat. But when we had so many Jell-O shots on the boat with Kara and Kyler when we went on the boat in Lake Michigan, that was rough.
Yeah, you guys were feeling great when you got back to the house.
And then everybody went to sleep.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell?
Oh God, what else is going on? Lily, once she finally gets up, like Captain Sandy has to go in, basically be like, hey, you gotta work. She was like really not gonna work that whole day.
No, I don't think she would have.
Come on, girl. Like you gotta try.
Yeah.
You have to like at least try. And if you're like puking all over the laundry, they're gonna obviously send you back to bed. But
yeah, and that's the thing. Like there's a point where you stop puking so much and you have enough time to go to the bathroom. You're just sleeping at that point.
right.
You're just trying to sleep off a hangover, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
don't know. That could have been the 3rd time she's ever drank in her life. Who
That's
knows?
true. Yeah, that she doesn't say. She doesn't say like, "Oh my God, I haven't drank in forever" or whatever. I think it was
Yeah.
just probably like she's new, nerves. She wants to go out and have fun, and
I'm new. I don't know what to do.
so she finally gets up and is not doing great with the laundry. Toomey says she's not really retaining information, which is going off of the conversation we had earlier. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're told a couple times, I'm gonna start getting angry if I have to tell you like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So that's not good. Lara and her singing of the opera, that was funny.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed it in the background, but a wine glass shattered.
What? Oh,
I'm
no.
kidding.
You really had me there. I was like, wait, what was in the background?
No.
She's funny. I like her.
Yeah. She's one of my favorites.
She is.
Her and Haley are really cool.
Oh, my prediction. I have a prediction that I have at the end, but I could say it now. I think she's going to come back next season as Bosun.
I could see that.
Because I like her better than, what was it, Malia?
Yeah.
Like, I like her way better than Malia.
Yeah, Emily is annoying.
Yeah. And I think well, I don't know. I do not know, like, her work ethic compared to Malia. But she definitely seems like she could be a good Bosun because I think she has the same, work ethic as Luca, but might be a little bit more organized. Like, might be a little bit better with the organization of it all.
Yeah, and like Malia really likes to talk about how hard she works, and Laura just kind of does it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was never a huge fan of Malia. I didn't like hate her, but I didn't like really like her.
One of these off weeks, if we do episodes in the off weeks, we should build like a dream team
Oh, I
below
know.
deck.
I know. I wish, I'm going to be honest, like I wish sometimes they'd give us a week off just so we
Yeah.
could do something like that.
I know. Don't we have 2 weeks off after this season?
Okay, I don't know when the weeks, I imagine there's not going to be a episode on Christmas because Christmas is a Monday.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that. And then, like I said, I think New Year's Day is a Monday.
Oh, yeah, so we really don't have off.
So I think I think those are the 2 weeks off. So I think around Christmas, which is fun because we will have time off work. Like we could just record random stuff.
If we could and just post them on like Wednesdays
Yep.
or something.
But that is my prediction. There's no way, I can't find anywhere where it shows like the plan for like, this is when these episodes premiere. Same thing. I can only see week to week. So I imagine there's one next week, the week after.
Well, there's no way they're putting an episode on Christmas or New Year's.
Okay. So then those are our 2 weeks off then.
Yeah, because
Like pretty
the ratings
99%
would be
sure.
horrible.
Yeah. And I think on Christmas Day, all the channels play like Christmas movies nonstop.
Christmas music movies.
Music movies. That's a new word for a music video, but it's longer. It's called a
Yeah.
music movie.
We're not shortening anymore. We're getting them longer.
You know what? That's a great idea. Taylor Swift made basically a music movie. Well, it was like 10 minutes long.
Isn't there a word for that? Hieroglyph.
No, I think that's what they wrote on the caves.
Same thing.
All right. We are introduced to these new charter guests. Immediately don't like them.
No,
Don't like them at all.
not all of them, but a couple of them.
Well, the reason I say that is because I do not buy into the idea, we can't control him. Oh my God, he's going to throw stuff at you. We can't control him. It's just crazy, whatever his name is. Okay.
It's Amish. I think I'm saying that right.
I think you are too.
Amish.
Amish, I'm pretty sure.
Amish. Yeah.
But come on. If you have a belligerent friend, you don't invite them on a super yacht.
You don't invite them anywhere.
No, because they're not fun.
No, they're not.
You have to constantly have to like babysit them. I don't know.
They're fun for like 10 minutes out of like 8 hours.
Yes. If you're lucky. Because
you're
then in that 10 minutes, you're like, what's this going to turn into?
Yeah. You're like getting ready. You're bracing for it.
Exactly. So, yeah, I was like, this guy's going to be a real tool. They immediately start like downing shots of tequila with their champagne. Like they have champagne, they have a shot of tequila, they make margaritas. He like pours makes a double margarita. I'm like, girl.
Yeah.
And I'm almost positive they were drinking before getting on the boat because I
Yeah.
think he was drunk already.
Yeah, they said that they ate champagne for breakfast.
That's good.
Yeah. Which, like, I feel like me and you could do because we're calm people.
I know.
Like, we could have brunch, bunch of champagne, get on a yacht, and still be normal people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We wouldn't be throwing shit and doing all that.
Because we're not like, if I go to brunch, I love brunch. I love having mimosas.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, hey, in between champagnes, can you bring me tequila shots?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
You can drink some champagne, have brunch. You can drink some water and some coffee and then go like, I think I did that in Nashville when we were there. Like we went to brunch. Well, we were dying that day, but then we like went to a bar and continued to drink, but we weren't like downing shots. It's basically, you just can't down shots.
Yeah. And if you do, you have to be prepared for a 6-hour nap in the middle of the
And
day.
you're just going to feel like garbage. Like when I
Yeah.
was watching Lily throw up like that, I'm like, I turned to Brad and I was like, I never want to do that ever again.
No.
Like well, you know, we've even been drinking less and less, but
Yeah, you guys are nerds now.
yeah, but it's like, I think I've said this before. I love champagne. I love a good wine and I love good cocktails. I really have no interest in seltzers. I'll only drink them if it's like a social thing where it's like, I don't know, whatever. But
Yeah.
the shots, I don't remember the last time I did a shot. I really don't.
Usually, like every other time I come over, we have a shot.
I don't know. Maybe every third time now.
Yeah.
All right. Amisha's sleeping by lunch. That's good. Now let's get into the dive. That's so cool. So we mentioned Haley is an expert diver.
Yeah.
15,000 vlogged dives. In there, well, this is kind of random, so I guess I'm going off topic, but while Haley was doing the dive and they were showing that, super cool. Like, that's something, now that they showed that, so my husband's a diver, and that like has me like in the back of my mind, like, if we go to Italy, like that's a really cool dive. And it looked like it was so shallow.
I was just going to say it's very shallow.
Max went down with just a mask.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I could do that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's probably only 30, 40 feet.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
If that, because if you can go down with just a mask,
Yeah.
you couldn't go really past, well, Brad would know better than me, but like I don't think you can go past 30-ish feet.
You can go as deep as you want on a breath hold. It's just
Getting back.
When you're down there, if you take in, like, if you grab a scuba diver's mouthpiece and put it in your mouth, not good.
Mm-mm.
And making it back, yeah. But like, there'll be people that do a breath hold and go into caves.
Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Crazy. But in the middle of all of that, Natalia's texting Luca.
Yeah,
Which-
stupid.
It was like the most random thing. It was like for like 20 seconds and we get no clear. I'm guessing it's foreshadowing some stuff.
I was just going to say for the next episode because she meets them at the bar, blah, blah,
Do you think
blah.
it's the next episode that happens?
Maybe.
Did they even show that? I'm so bad at watching the previews. I just have coming up.
Oh, yeah. Did you not see that? I think that was last week.
I saw that. I thought you
Yeah.
meant this week. All I saw was that crazy guest going into the crew cabins. And what do you think is wrong with Haley? Because she's got to go to the doctor.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I got from the preview. But
I feel like there's no way it's dive related.
no, because it wasn't deep enough.
Yeah.
Because I was
and-
thinking the two, like the bends or whatever. But again,
No.
she knows what she's doing, and it wasn't like they were going hundreds of feet down.
And the bends is like immediately.
Yeah.
It's not like you get it 2 days later or something. And I doubt it has anything to do with alcohol because every time they go out,
She goes to bed.
yeah,
She's
don't get me
me.
wrong. She drinks and she has a good time, but they get back to that boat and she's in bed before they're making noodles.
I know, which I love it.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
Well, I might eat the noodles.
Yeah.
But-
so it might be just something that pops up. I mean,
Yeah.
people have medical emergencies.
Yeah. So then we get into dinner. They're having the issues with like Laura didn't get a break, Luca needing to plan better. It's just kind of like that's sprinkled throughout the episode. They have a mentalist at dinner. What do you think about the mentalist?
I don't know.
It's kind of like a psychic magician,
Yeah.
which he's not even really a psychic. He's just kind of playing off. He's a magician. That like
Yeah.
basically a magician, but makes you feel like he can read your mind.
Yeah, I mean, magicians play little kid birthday parties. Mentalists are allowed on super yachts,
It's true.
and they're the same person. You know,
He was pretty good though.
he was good. I mean, I'll give him that. I don't know how to do.
No.
I don't know how to do what he was doing or
No.
figure out what he was doing, but you know,
Yeah, I don't either. It's funny how our brain can't comprehend that.
there's a dude on TikTok that explains all those tricks, and I watched a few, and I'm like, I'd rather just be tricked.
Yep.
You know?
I'm so tired of being aware.
Yeah. You know.
I want to put that on a shirt. I'm tired of being aware.
I want to be blind.
I want to be ignorant. Please, God.
Oh man, imagine wearing that shirt. I want to be ignorant. Every other Karen would walk up to you and be like,
More like I wish I was more ignorant because
Yeah.
ignorant people are annoying to us. Aware people, they're not annoyed of themselves.
No,
They're just living their
they're
life.
having a good time.
Oh God. So did you see that I posted Logan's Xbox for sale on Facebook Marketplace?
No.
Oh my God. Guess how many messages I got today?
How
Like,
many?
in just a day.
One day. I'm going to say 23.
Close. I was going to guess around 20. And it's just, I told Brad today, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish having to deal with the general public on Facebook Marketplace on my worst enemy.
Oh, yeah.
It is the worst. 90-ish% of them just say, is this available? You say yes, that's it. Which actually, not that bad. It's the worst ones are the ones that say, what version is this, when it's like in the title. How much do you want, when it's clearly listed. Yep. And then like the ones that are like, oh, can I pick this up on Saturday? Yeah, I guess if it's available. But like it's Wednesday. Like,
yeah.
So I sold it. I sold it.
People are so stupid.
So I guess going off the ignorant thing, like they're just living their life on Facebook Marketplace. Like
Yeah.
they're
just believing that the earth is flat.
I know. I think sometimes that's why we like conspiracy theories, because we're like, let's just believe in something crazy.
I know. That's like, I really want to believe in ghosts so bad. I watch so many ghost shows, but I'm
it's like
just like, did you guys hear that? What the hell was that? And the camera's looking this way. It's like, okay.
What's that one like viral thing? Did he just tell me?
Yeah. He's like, Zach, the spirits are telling me to drink. And Zach's like, you've already had 3 shots. He's like, I don't know, man.
No.
They're telling me to drink. Is that the one you're talking about?
That's not the one I'm talking about. I think it is Zach Bagans or Baggins or whatever it is. But it's like, did he just tell me to go fuck myself?
No, I think it's he asks it like the ghost, like, what do you want to do? And it's like, your mom. It's like, did he just say he wants to do my mom? It's something along those lines, but yeah.
That's the one I was talking about. Oh God. Okay. We just started about the mentalist is what we were talking about.
Yeah, we went way off the rails.
So that's basically, and then the one meal we got to see. Did you make any notes about the one meal?
They didn't really go into it much.
No.
Chef Jack says Americans love pork belly. I don't know if I've ever had pork belly.
Did you hear the producers like, we do?
We do.
He's like, yeah, right?
Right?
But no, it did sound good. It was pork belly, pork huevos, apple puree, and carrot salad.
Yeah, I'd eat all of that.
What's pork huevos? Do you know?
I believe that's pork eggs, pig eggs. Spanish pig eggs.
That's huevos.
Same thing.
Oh, man. Oh, no. I Googled it, and it's not on here. There's no answer. Yeah. I don't know.
It's like half the shit he makes. It looks amazing, and I bet it tastes amazing, but I don't know how to spell it.
I know. And I think that's about it. I mean, I think we kind of went fast, but also not. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we did it pretty well. It was kind of a boring episode, so we just kind of...
So we're just going to have to see what goes on with this crazy guest. But like, yeah, they didn't really give us much. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what next week has to bring.
Yeah. I'm assuming next week's going to be pretty dramatic and full of stuff.
Whatever. I hope it's less about Kyle. The good news is we didn't see much about Kyle in the preview, so maybe they give that a break.
Yeah.
Maybe we get into like some of the Luca Jess drama, which I will accept with open arms.
Honestly, yeah. I already know how it's gonna go, but
I know.
I'll take a change of pace.
Yeah. All right. So what's the secret word today?
We're gonna go with chef's goggles.
Chef's goggles. They were sunglasses, but they look like goggles.
Yeah. And I'm doing that because Chef Jack replied to our Instagram story. That was really cool. And I'm going to post it on our main feed.
I think tonight. You should. And like, yeah, make the caption like in the picture.
Yeah.
So that if people like share it, it's funny.
Yeah, I was just going to make the same exact picture and post it.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny.
It's funny. Like it, subscribe, comment on it. Laugh at us.
Like, comment, subscribe, please. I always forget to say that in the beginning of the episode. But if you're still here, you probably have already. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like we've been talking in circles today. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe it's interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I wanted to say. Like, I'm happy. Like, our subscribers continue to go up on YouTube. I think our listens and downloads continue to go up on all the podcast platforms. So thank you guys so much, and we love doing this, and I guess we will just see you next week. We'll see you then.
All right, bye.